Hello everyone, I'm Ollie from Bournemouth Meditation, and this is our weekly introduction to breath. So every week we take something to do with breath and present it for a few minutes, enable you to try it, and at the same time show you what's possible for you and your wonderful body. So today is the deep front line. What is the deep front line? The deep front line plays a major role in stabilizing the body. So the arches, how they lift or drop, stabilizing the legs, the different segments from the knees all the way up to the hips. Those very important adductor muscles, incredibly tight on myself. Keeping our hips together where we sort of lean out onto one side. Here in the abdomen, that sort of balloon, whether it holds it in, lets it drop out. My most important area that I look at is breathing, how easy it is for us to breathe, whether there's any tension, and ultimately how the neck sits on the body, whether it's dropped forwards or sort of sits there in a tensed state. And then you've got how you can see it across the whole body. As you can see, it really stretches far and wide. And aside from hip adductions, so sort of moving the hips around and breathing using the diaphragm, there really isn't that much movement that is strictly part of the deep front line, but also there is rarely any type of movement that is outside of its influence, as you can see here. It's difficult to say where the deep front line begins, but I guess the hips is probably the best place to start, and we can watch how that comes down into the arches, but then also reaches up all the way through the core muscles and the diaphragm, around the ribs and the neck, but also right up into the tongue. So you can expect that from the exercises that we'll be doing in a moment, but also tomorrow. So I guess what we're interested in is not only how they all connect with each other, but going into each segment, make sure it's moving, and the interconnections that are happening, and whether we can make them more streamlined and flexible. From a functional point of view, what does this mean, and what does it look like? I love this image of all the different postures. So you can see the correct posture to the left. I think they look a little bit rigid, but anyway. So my favorite here would be the flat pelvis, because that is what I had before I started my own journey into Pilates movement and meditation and all of that. As you can see, that poor person has no bum whatsoever. So I was lacking a butt. And then ultimately I kind of went into a bit of a military posture, which you can see second to the right. And that's interesting because it sort of looks like it's a good posture and people sort of make that comment, oh, what an amazing posture you have. But actually that person is super tight. Perhaps you can take a moment to spot where your posture might be aligned on this diagram. Okay, so there is a lot that we can do with the deep front line. And in Wednesday's class, we will be showing you how to do a good hour's worth of different breath and movement. But I want to show you two things that you can do today. So the first thing is I'm going to turn sideways. So you can kneel, sit, whatever you need to do. But the breath that we're going to do is we're going to inhale. Inhale again. And what we want to do is expand into all those sort of, tightnesses, but you saw the lines from earlier, just letting the whole body extend a little, and then exhale. And as we exhale, we fold. So we did this last week. We're going to add some movement in. Letting the body relax as much as it can, even at the top of that inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Then bigger movement. So kneeling, arms come behind. So that'd be like a level 1, and then exhale. Now you really can hug yourself. You can even child pose. Then we go again. Sort of level 2 extension. Really let the chin come in, and exhale. Remember, curling, child pose. Last one. Level 3 now. If you can keep going, you keep going. Oh, glorious. Great, then we're going to do some arm movements. So inhale. Curl. Curl. You can go into child pose if you wish. Last one. Reaching. Great, then we're going to inhale. Both arms come up, then the one arm comes this way. And you're going to sort of press, and you're pressing up and back. Ooh. Good, go into child pose. Other side. You can do that sort of deep inhale. So I'm a little tighter on the side. I can feel it. Sort of reaching one arm, reaching the other. Come down towards the waist and then press, press, twist. Try not to let the chest come out. That is a lot. Beautiful. Let's do one more. Inhale. And if you can, one arm comes back. You can bring it to the heel. So you go into a gentle extension. Then you bring the upper body and twist it down and around. Try and keep your hips forward facing. Pull the belly muscles in. Breathe in there and... What was that sort of centered, I guess, regrouping? Last one on the other side. So start sort of neutral, going up. Then you rotate the heart, try and keep the hips forwards, letting that neck open. Child pose. Beautiful. We do two more of those. Child poses. Inhale. Really stretch the spine. Let the seat bones drop onto your heel. Exhale. Press into the shins to roll back up. And exhale. And then I'd like you to get yourself into a comfortable position. Add like a pillow. And to complete, shut your eyes. Let the arms find a restful position. Let the breath drop down deep into that pelvic bowl. And exhale. Take this chance to notice any tension. Let that tension just drop right out of you. So this is an opportunity for you to just connect into how you're doing. And also what questions come up. So if you have any questions, then do feel free to get in contact. So that is, I don't know, a few minutes of some quite powerful breath and movement exercises to really tone and get into that deep front line. Can be incredibly helpful for posture, for digestion. If you can imagine all of those lines that we saw from earlier, they're probably the one fascial chain. I think maybe chain's not a good description. Fascial 3D shape that connects to, well, I guess they all connect, but to all the other fascial lines. So this one, if it can be dysfunctional, it's the one that can also sort of move outwards and other fascial chains start taking over, and you can see that in bodies as they move. So this is really important. So I'll be coming to it in the third week, so the other ones are kind of thinking. So if you haven't joined us, then this is definitely one of those ones to come along and try it out for yourself. We'll be doing an hour's class tomorrow, so that's Wednesday, at 7:30 p.m. So you can message us if you'd like to join us. And yeah, little tips and tricks of how to connect and to move with your deep front line. So I hope you enjoyed today, and be gentle as you walk around. and we look forward to seeing you in one of our classes soon. Enjoy your day.